Hello guys, this is FX Bright, the trade guru. I'm back again with another very interesting video. Now, on this video, I want us to analyze this chart together. Now, when you open your chart, the first thing you want to do is to map out your major support and resistance area. So, I'm going to do that right now. So, you can see where the chart is currently. Now, like I said, I want us to analyze this chart together. I'm going to show you guys some very important details. Look, it's not about, we are not just trading support and resistance, we are trading confluence. And I'm going to show you, on this video, I'm going to show you very key important stuff. So the first thing you want to do in any chart at all is to go to your highest time frame to map out your key support and resistance. So on this one, I'm going to map it out. So let me take out my zone tool as usual. And you can see what the market was able to do from this particular point. You can see how the market was formed a very strong resistance at this point and dropped down. So on this point, I'm going to mark that zone area. Now, you can see what happened in the future, right? On this particular place, you know, I'm marking it from here. This price had a very strong resistance here and dropped down. So if you stretch it all the way to the future, you can see what happened when price got to this particular point. Now, I'm not going into more details about this point, but I'm very sure if you go back to the history of this particular point, you will see how this point was a very strong either a resistance or a support. But I just want to analyze this market from this particular chart. We can see, so you can see how the market came here, had a very good bounce, dropped down, and was on his way up. Now listen guys, we are still analyzing the market, but I want you guys to see some very key things I'm going to be showing you guys. It will change your trading, trust me. And yeah, by the way, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please just click the subscribe button or like this video, or you can do both. And let's keep going. What you're going to see on this market is that the market started buying up. Now, I told you guys something. When price is going to be moving from a support projected to a certain resistance, price is going to move in a channel, right? And you can see the channel price is moving in order to get to this particular point. In fact, anywhere price is going to, price has to go there in a channel. You just have to find the channel. Now, in this particular time frame, you can see the channel price was using to go up. So what we're going to do is that we're going to draw that channel, and I'm going to show you guys some very key things about this matter. So I'm going to put this trend line here. I'm going to put this trend line here, and I'm going to draw up the trend line all the way to the future. Now, I just want you guys to notice something, right? I put this trend line on that particular point and drew it all the way to the future. Now, I said something earlier. I said price intends to move in a channel. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to also draw another parallel line, just parallel to this one, and I'm going to transfer that line to the bottom. And you're going to see what price did. You can see how price was intentional about this bottom line. So you can see the channel which price used to go up. Now, I told you guys, when you're able to get the top and the bottom of the channel, the next thing you want to do is to find the median of the channel. So what I'm going to do again is that I'm going to also draw another line, stretch it, let it be parallel to that first one, and I'm going to transfer it just to the middle. Now, take a look at what price was able to do in this particular channel. Just consider this channel for a bit. Now, when I started this video, what I started by saying is that we are not necessarily just looking for price touching support and resistance. What we are looking for is confluence, right? What we are more interested in is confluence. Now, if let's analyze this particular channel for a bit. Now guys, there's a way to draw channel from the beginning for you to know that price is about to begin a trend. There's a way to draw it, guys. And like on the WhatsApp, on the description of this channel is my WhatsApp. If you want to know deeper things and more in depth on how to spot these channels, you can always WhatsApp me in my DM. All right guys, so if you consider this particular channel that price was moving on, you can see something. It is not necessarily about price bouncing off the channel, which it was doing, but the thing that made the bounce more significant is not just the bounce itself, but the presence of confluence. Now listen guys, this is going to help you when you are finding this type of support and resistance. Now look at this, for instance. Now remember, this is the daily time frame. I'm just analyzing to see what's happening. If you look at the left of this particular side of the daily time frame, you will see how the zone was a support and resistance. You can see how the zone. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take out my zone tool, which is this rectangle. So I'm just going to place it here, and I'm going to draw a support zone. Now just looking at these alone, you can see how beautiful the price action is looking. Now when the price came here and had a bounce, remember, by this time I probably did not know the trend in which the market was using to go up. I just know that this particular point was a support, right? So you can see how the market was a resistance, sorry. So you can see how the market was able to travel all the way to this point, find a very good resistance, you know, came down, did some little drama on this median line, came all the way to the bottom, came all the way to this top, broke it a little bit. Now just look at the interactions of price on these lines. Now take a look at this particular point. You can see that when the market was able to sell all the way to this particular point, the buy that happened was very strong. Why? Because of the confluence of lines. Now if you see this line traveling all the way like this, and this other support line coming all the way, two of them meeting at this point, you can see why this point became a very strong, very strong support. Now this is the one daily time frame, guys. So a very smart trader will go into this charts at this particular point to find very good buys. Now you can see what happened in this point. Even when price was able to break this point, it came out here, and this particular area, let me zoom in a little bit, you can see this particular area, you can see there was a little buy that happened in this point. And the reason why price was able to buy at this point is because this point was a resistance before, which has now become a support. And when you trace the median line, you can see that the median line and that support had a confluence at this particular point. So there was a buy for almost about 2 days. You can see these two candles represent 2 days, and you know the amount of pips that will be when you go to the lower time frames. And you can see how the price was able to bounce back, but this particular line was able to hold it back to push it up again, and price got to the top of this channel. Now remember guys, this is a ascending channel, so you probably don't want to trade the sales. What you're going to be doing is going to wait for the market to get to very good points and finding very good buys. Now you can see how the market was able to get to this middle side again, but if you look to the left, you will see how this place was a very good support. So I'm just going to draw again that support. I just want to be able to on this particular tutorial draw all the support zones, so you can see how price interacts with these zones. Now, so putting on that one at that particular place, you can see how price was able to, you know, get some resistance here, and when price was coming down, price had a very good buy. Now the reason why price is going to be finding very good support to make very good buys is because already we've understood that this channel is an ascending channel. So because it's an ascending channel, price is going to be finding very good confluences. So anywhere you see very good confluences is where you're supposed to go and take your buy. Now look, the whole reason I'm showing you guys this is so that you can be able to properly analyze the market to know where to take your buys in. When you've been able to spot the type of channel, if it's an ascending channel, you should be able to know where to spot your buys or where to wait for the market to meet you, so you don't be chasing the market. Now you can see how the market was able to go up and it came down. This is at this point, you can see there is a confluence at this point where this resistance zone was able to confluence with this trend line, and when price gets to this point, it is at this point you will now go into your lower time frames to begin to find buys. You don't chase the market, you wait for the market at some place where the market can meet you. So now when the market started buying up, got to the top of the trend channel and started coming down, you can see how the market was able to interact with this middle line. So it is just at this middle line you will probably have been able to try to find another buy. But already before you find that buy, you must try to find the confluence in which price is going to use to make that buy. Remember, we are not buying because price is touching the line. We are buying because we can find other confluences that can support that buy. So you can see how price was able to break the middle side of this trend and got to this particular place. So the two of them worked hand in hand in order for them to push market to the top. Now you see, when the market got to the top, all the while the market has been hitting this stuff and it was not coming down. But the moment the market got to this particular point, let me zoom out a little bit, you can see how the market was able to get to this particular point and drop down. The moment it dropped down, it got to these other points. And if you trace it to the left, you will see how this point was a good resistance, good support. Therefore, when the market was even falling down all the way to this point, you would also come here to wait for the market for a buy. That's just to show you, the moment you're able to get your lines and project your lines into the future, all you do is just to find good spots to wait for the market to take your buys. Now, this is another good spot where you can be able to take a buy. Remember, we are only buying because this is an uptrend. We are only buying because this is an up channel, an ascending channel. So if you bought at this particular point, now listen, see where it gets very interesting. When the market started buying up at this particular point, you can see how the market got to this point. Now, it is very interesting that the market had to get to this point before the market could start looking for a sell. In other words, we would have been able to buy all this move in the channel until the market got to this other confluence zone. So let me zoom out a little bit so you can see how that was this. So you remember the first line we drew, the first resistance zone we drew, and we projected it all the way to this future, and you can see how price was just bouncing off until it got to this zone where that resistance and this channel confluenced. That is where you saw price was now making a double top. And guys, check my videos on how to trade the double top pattern, and these are patterns you find in these very strong confluence zones. So as price was able to confluence with this place, you can see price made a good double top and started breaking structures to the downward direction. So the moment you can see that price is able to, so what I told you guys if you check my other videos, how do you know that this market has begun a downtrend? Now, the first thing we want to know, the first thing that will give us an ideology that this market is probably about to begin a downtrend is the fact that the price has gotten to the maximum point of confluence, which is this resistance zone and the top of the trend line, all of them confluencing here to form a double top. So once this happened and price is able to break structure, and how I told you guys to do it is when you zoom into the chart, when you take out your trend lines, draw your trend line tool all the way to this point. Now what you want for the price to do is that you want the price to break this structure, right? This trend line that I drew all the way here. You want the price to break it, and you want the price to also break this swing low here, this particular swing low. Once the price is able to come and break the two of them, the next thing you need is a very good retest. So you can see how the price came all the way to this point to find a very good retest, and at this point you'll be able to take your sell. And I told you guys, once you're able to take your sell at this point, your SL is somewhere above here, and you're going to take a 1:2. But now the issue here is that price is still in this particular channel. So if you're going to take a sell from this point, you probably want to take the sell all the way to the bottom of the channel. Now the only time you can begin to take very serious trades as a sell, remember the first confirmation was this heavy confluence here and price breaking structures. Now you're able to take your sell around this point. Now when price is able to break this channel again and make a retest on the channel, at this point you're able to take very strong sell. Now listen, I told you guys it's not just about the line, but it's about the confluence. So if you're able to view this market with very up precision, you can see how price was able to make these retests on this conference. So if you were able to see this particular line here stretching to the future, when price broke this, price came all the way to this particular point again to make a retest. Now you can see this retest is not just one line. This retest was this support line and this particular trend line swinging up here. Anytime you can see a support line or a resistant line and a trend line passing through a point, just know that when price breaks through that point and comes to that very particular point where those guys are meeting to make a retest, you are up for a very good sell. So you can see how price would have made a very good retest on this point, and once you place your sell orders, listen, how you do it is when you place the sell orders on this point, you put your stop loss at the top of the median line. So for instance, if I was placing my sell on this median line, my stop loss would have been at the top of the channel. If I was placing my sell at the bottom of this after the break of the channel itself, my stop loss would be at the median line. So once the price has broken stop loss at the median line, I'm taking the 1:2 and the market is already moving. Now remember, I told you guys before, let me not make this video very long, which I think it already is. I told you guys price also move in a channel. So you can, if you're able to trace the channel in which price is moving, you'll be able to spot very good sales even in the as price is making its own retest, so its own move downward. So you can see how price was able to do this at this point and broke through this point again, came back for a retest. Now, like I told you guys, this is the point. These points where you see confluences are very, very important. It is how to trade, guys. You don't pursue the market, you find places of very, very good confluence. As if you can get those places, price will always come back to those places to make retests. And when price come back to those places to make retests, you're going to find very good entries on the lower time frames in this point and make your sell. Guys, this is how to be profitable in the market. It's very, very good to understand how to draw these lines and also how to understand their confluence. All right, guys, so I hope this video was very helpful to you. So please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video.